What would you think if the Satanic Temple was hosting an after-school program? Well, it may be happening at a school near you in the very near future. According to the After School Satan website, the club will emphasize science, rational thinking, and non-superstitious worldviews. The organization wants to open clubs in elementary schools around the country and right here in the Houston area later this year. They say it's only fair since various evangelical Christian groups like the Good News Club get to promote their faith to students in after-school programs. Now, this is legal according to a 2001 Supreme Court ruling, but the moral dilemma has many questioning if it should be allowed. That's our topic for this half hour, and we want to hear from you on Facebook and Twitter using the hashtag Fox26HoustonForLife. Joining us live in the newsroom this morning is Republican strategist and public policy analyst Jackie Bally and former Harris County Democratic Party Chair Jerry Bernberg. Thank you so much for being here. So what do you think about this?
Oh, this is so troubling. As a mom who has two young men, if I were to hear something like this, if one of my sons were to come home and say, "Hey, Mom, just to let you know, they're starting a satanic club at school. Can I sign up?" I would be very troubled by this. Also, during my days as a professor at U of H, I know there were certain things that we could or could not say, certain things that administrators could or could not do, evolving around Christianity. So I do find it troubling that this is actually legal, at least according to a 2001 Supreme Court ruling. And also, you notice that the people behind this, they're saying this is in retaliation to some clubs that are allowing Christianity or the teaching of Christianity at certain schools. So this is their way to retaliate from something like that. Jerry, I'm glad you're here with us this morning. Thank you, because we all wonder about the actual legal ramifications of something like this.
Well, first of all, it's got nothing to do with retaliation, with all due respect, Jackie. What it has to do, it's also got nothing to do with Satan and nothing to do with temple.
That's what they're saying. They are saying
when
that.
you go visit their website, you'll see that it's almost like the joke's on us. The Satanic Temple, in fact, does not believe in Satan, and they don't believe in temples, churches, and other religious institutions. It is a separation of church and state organization, which is designed to inculcate in folks not a belief in Satan or anything of the sort, but a belief that you should base your belief system on facts and science and not superstition and those sorts of things. Now, you ask about the legal implications of it.
Yes, that's really good.
In point of fact, here's what the answer to that is. The schools cannot discriminate between various kinds of organizations in connection with whether they can use school property. And that's all we're talking about here, whether an after-hours school property can be available. And the notion is, the Supreme Court said, look, if you make school properties available for the debate club and the drama club and any other non-religious organization, you have to make it available for religious organizations as well. That's not just since 2001, but long before then, that it's been understood if you're going to make it available to religious organizations, you can't distinguish between, for example, only Christians and not Jews.
Let me ask you this, because they're saying that it's going to be up to the principals and the administrators actually how they're going to apply these programs and if they're going to actually allow it. I guarantee you, if parents get a hold about this, they hear about this, their reaction is going to be very comparable and similar to mine. I know you gave an explanation that is not what we think it's teaching, but a lot of people are going to have that assessment. Now, if the principals do decide that they are not going to do that, what are the legal ramifications of that act?
They cannot base that decision upon the content. In other words, a principal couldn't say, as I said, for example, well, we'll allow Christian organizations to use our facilities, but we won't allow Buddhists to. But they can limit the number of people. If you don't have at least 15 people in your club, you can't use our facilities.
And Rashi, I'm sure they're getting a lot of hits on social media about this one.
Yeah, definitely people are talking about this. A lot of them had the reaction you did, Jackie. This one is a little different, though. Satanic Temple protects children from abuse in school. And this is one of the billboards here. Never be hit in school again. Exercise your religious rights. So that's one of the billboards out there, not here in Houston, though, but this was a picture that was taken. Also want to share this with you here. We have If you're mad about this, then you should be mad about Bible clubs too. And Jerry, I was just going to ask you that with Bible clubs and all of these other religious organizations that are in school, are the principals and everyone, are they the ones that determine that in schools as well?
They get to determine what clubs and organizations get to use the facilities, so long as it's not based upon the content or the message. So the principals can say you have to have 15 members in order to do it, as an example. But here's the point. It is correct. The principal can say, Satanic Temple, you all may not have after-school programs, but to do that, he's also or she's also got to say, and neither can the Good News Club. In other words, if you want to get rid of everybody, the principal can do that. But once you open those doors after hours, then you cannot discriminate based upon the content of the message.
Well, I guarantee you this one, if a school decides to put a Satanic Club as an after-hours program, there will be a long line from many parents, many students. There will be some students who object to it, and it will cause a lot of issues for that school, for the administrators, and everyone else involved. Thank you, Rashi.
Against the new after-school Satan Club that was recently approved there by the Park Row School District. Tim Becker is outside the school. He joins us live with more. Tim?
I want to give you a look at the gathering here over my shoulder. The bagpipes have just started playing once again. This is all happening because the newly formed after-school Satan Club is holding an open house to tell parents about their new program today. It just happens to be on the same day that another religious group, the Good News Club, is holding its open house. The Satanic Temple says it's providing the after-school club because the Good News Club, an evangelical Bible study group, has actually been around now for several years. The co-founder of the Satanic Temple tells me that if the evangelical group was here, they wouldn't be here either.
We feel that evangelical clubs coming in and proselytizing the children, trying to get other children to convert to their fundamentalist way of thinking, creates a need for us to be here with something that presents scientific rationalism and by being put forward by a different religious group.
They want to balance with Satan? Well, we think people are very much, and we know they are, very much afraid of Satan and Satanism, what it represents, regardless of the comical little drawings they make of it, what Satanism is. So we're here to support them in that and keep Satan out of our schools.
Well, backers of both groups are here right now. People supporting the Bible group, as you see live, spending time here singing, praying, and now they're taking a slow walk. Looks like they'll probably go around the block. The Satanic Temple members, meantime, saying their after-school program does not contain any items of religious opinion. In case you're wondering, students do need a note from parents to attend either after-school club. Live in Northeast Portland, Tim Becker, KOIN 6 News.
Quite the debate. Thanks, Tim.
The efforts of the Portland chapter of the Satanic Temple to bring an after-school program called After School Satan to a Portland elementary school have succeeded. The Oregonian Oregon Live reports the organization's been approved to begin a program on October 19th at Sacramento Elementary School. Group leader Finn Rez says their program focuses on science and rational thinking. It will promote benevolence and empathy for everybody. The group seeks to counter the influence of Christian after-school programs such as Good News Clubs. Such programs have popped up at schools in the wake of a 2001 U.S. Supreme Court ruling that paved the way for religious organizations to establish after-school activities at public school facilities.
A Satan Club is coming to an Oregon elementary school. It has been approved at a school that allows Christian after-school programs. The after-school club is brought by the National Organization of the Satanic Temple. The group was trying to add clubs at schools in Oregon and Washington. They want them at schools where evangelical Christian clubs are allowed. But there's the thing here is that Satan Club's local leader says it really isn't about Satan. It's science and critical thinking.
It's okay to question what people tell you and to decide for yourself what you believe in, and just to keep an open mind and think critically about the things that you learn about in the world. Science is a great vehicle for that.
And the backers of the club say it is also a vehicle to support the separation of church and state. Religious clubs don't belong in public schools. The first club meeting is set for October 19th, and we will see then what kind of support it gets from Sacramento school families.
So what are you guys hoping to achieve today?
Stopping the worship of Satan in public areas.
Well, we're non-theistic, so we don't believe in God.
Yeah.
Or the devil.
The club is here to contrast the presence of the evangelical good news clubs, which are here specifically to proselytize to children and bring them into a fundamentalist evangelical way of thinking.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, sure, I'll hold the side.
I think it's important that children have the opportunity to understand and be involved with multiple diversity of beliefs, to understand that there's different ways of looking at the world.
Mary, your praises we sing.
They can claim they're not really Satanists at all. You don't allow Satan into a school and not protest it.
They should all be ashamed of themselves.
They already don't get the education that they should, you know, and now you're bringing this in here, you know, installing fear in them and then confusing them even more.